Welcome to Monday, May 25th.
Let's see what happens. We're going to give diplomacy every chance to succeed before we explore the alternatives.
Another potential deal to end the war in Iran on the table.
We do need to get this issue resolved so that we can come to a conclusion and we can move on from it.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says a win by the Remain side in the fall referendum will settle the issue of separation for her government. And the Montreal Canadiens are banking on home ice advantage tonight in Game 3 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning on this Monday, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Happy Monday. Good morning.
Big eventful weekend. Anything fun?
Big eventful weekend. We did go to the Arts Fest, Dalton and I. It was beautiful.
Hundreds of people did.
Yes, it was so busy. It was great to see so many people out.
And for the very first time, Kayleen has taken a day off and left you with remarkable temperatures.
I'm excited.
If we're going to be complaining, it's going to be because it's hot. So make sure you're hydrated out there. Let's get to news. We begin with this. The U.S. and Iran could be one step closer to securing a deal to end the war.
We have what I think is a pretty solid thing on the table in terms of their ability to open up the straits, get the straits open, enter into a very real, significant, time-limited negotiation on the nuclear matters. And hopefully we can pull it off. It has a lot of support in the Gulf.
According to regional officials, the deal would gradually reopen the Strait of Hormuz and have the U.S. end its blockade of Iranian ports. It would also involve a 60-day ceasefire extension. In exchange, Iran would need to give up its stockpile of highly enriched uranium, with further talks needed on the details. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reiterated that U.S. President Donald Trump is not in a hurry to make a deal. The price of oil has tumbled on news that Iran may be close to a deal. Brent crude is down about 5% this morning, falling below the $100 U.S. per barrel mark. The U.S. president has said a deal with Iran would include the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, as we mentioned. Stocks are also reacting this morning. Markets in Japan and Taiwan jumped to a record high. Stocks in Europe are also mostly in the green. Wall Street is closed today because of Memorial Day holiday in the U.S. The rising cost of living was top of mind as premiers from across Western Canada met in Whistler. They also talked about public safety and infrastructure.
Western premiers meeting and having one of the premiers bluntly that appears to be setting the table to leave the country.
Are calling for more money from the federal government for infrastructure projects to, in part, better deal with the effects of climate change. The premiers are also calling on Ottawa to prioritize pushing through federal bail reform for repeat offenders. They also spoke about growing pressure on Western Canada, with the weight of population growth now shifting to the west. The Canadian Navy and South Korean Navy held a joint ceremony in BC over the weekend. The ceremony in Victoria remembered the 516 Canadians killed in the Korean War. The Republic of Korea Navy is also in Canada to hold its first ever exclusive joint naval drills with our Navy. It's brought along the KSS-3 submarine for the trip. There is a bid in place for Canada to buy 12 of these subs. South Korea is a finalist for the contract, along with the joint bid from Germany and Norway. Ottawa is expected to announce its decision this summer. The 26th edition of the Cathedral Village Arts Festival wrapped up Saturday. Once again this year, one of many bringing residents together, taking business to 13th Avenue. The CVAF told CTV that 390 vendors were situated throughout the week. The CVAF had 44 different sponsors and accumulated about $200,000. Half of the budget comes from the street fair, the other half from donors.
I think the reason that we have so many vendors is a reflection on the state of the economy. Like, we have people who come in here from PA in the north and from Kelowna and Brandon and stuff like that. And they're all people trying to make a little bit of money because it's hard, right? And then if you're into art and music and poetry and dance and stuff, we have a whole week of content and everything is free.
Young says the CVAF had 30,000 people visit when he started as festival director in 2022, and they estimate that at least 50,000 came through this year. Canadian filmmakers are being recognized in Yorkton at one of the oldest film festivals in North America.
I did not push that, don't cry, you know, like, I know we grew up around that, like, always that, you know.
The Blackfoot Man won 2 of the festival's highest Golden Sheaf Awards, Best of Festival, Best Feature Documentary as well. The film features the lives of men balancing the weight of kinship with the evolving expectations of manhood in the prairies, in addition to reshaping the narrative of Indigenous identity. The Ruth Shaw Best of Saskatchewan was awarded to a Lowell Dean film, Die Alone. It's a post-apocalyptic story, love story, about a man who has amnesia and teams up with a tough survivalist during a zombie-like outbreak.
There was never a guarantee that we would get to make this movie, and especially not in Saskatchewan. And the recent support that Creative Saskatchewan got, the increased incentive, is 100% the reason that we were looking at other provinces, and that's the reason we got to come home and make a movie with friends.
The Yorkton Film Festival will be celebrating 80 years in 2027, believe it or not. Saskatoon was the site for the Spring 2026 Métis Nation Legislative Assembly this weekend. Jeremy Dodge, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Yeah, it was a 2-day meeting, brought together delegates from across the province to discuss a number of topics. 18 new local presidents were sworn in. A commitment was made for the group's annual General Assembly. Now, additionally, the MNLA saw the affirmation of Métis harvesting rights and the prioritization of child and family services.
It gives us an opportunity to be able to bring people together from right across the province, like I said, to be able to hear them in regards to what we need to hear as far as maybe falling short in regards to what we deliver. But then most importantly, too, is to be able to get to know their government. You know, sometimes governments are limited in regards to what they can do, but at the same time, gives us an idea in regards to where we can work a little harder.
The meeting was the first of 2 assemblies for the year. Next one is scheduled for the fall. And while many sports fans gathered in Saskatoon for the Rider game this weekend, there was another athletic event drawing quite the crowd as well.
Are you set? Go!
Yes, the 5th annual Corgi races hosted at Crossmount Cider Company Sunday afternoon. 60 four-legged athletes showcasing their speed in front of the crowd. One of the organizers says the event is getting larger every year thanks to the love of the breed.
They love to work and they love to play, and we think people love coming out because it is such a fun event to watch. Now, some corgis race, some corgis frolic, some corgis don't do what they're supposed to do, and that's the fun of it.
In addition to the races, participating dogs also had the chance to show off their Sunday best in a costume parade.
Oh, your favorite.
Yes, my favorite. All right, let's talk football. All right, a long-standing tradition was back over the weekend.
I want to run more Corgi video. We'll do this too. Parents, scouts, and fans cheered the best high school football players in the province. We're in Saskatchewan at the Senior Bowl on Sunday. Game features the top 80 graduating players from high schools across the province. Athletes from schools on the north end of the province played against players from the south, various attending a great opportunity to showcase their skills.
Brothers played in Senior Bowl back in the day, so it was pretty special that Bennett made the team as well.
It's an amazing evolution of high school ball, and to come to the fruition, and this is the end, to then move on to post-secondary soon after. It's exciting.
Team North won 44-11. Kimi Antonelli continued his dominant run with a thrilling win at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Comes George Russell down that back straight. Look up from Antonelli, who goes off the track, almost hits his teammate, almost hits the wall, somehow survives. George Russell managing to stay in the lead.
The race was a showdown between Antonelli and his Mercedes teammate George Russell. That was until lap 3 when Russell's car gave out and put him out of the race. That paved the way for Antonelli's win. That was the 19-year-old's 4th win in a row. Lewis Hamilton came in 2nd, more than 10 seconds behind. Max Verstappen came in 3rd. It was a wet race weekend in Montreal, but fans did not seem to care.
A great race, really exciting, lots of action.
It's an amazing battle at the beginning between Mercedes cars, and after that, the battle with Lewis and Verstappen, that was amazing.
The Canadian Grand Prix was moved up the schedule this year to May. This year was still a record turnout, 360,000 fans in the stands. And over at the Indy 500, a finish doesn't come any closer than this.
Rosenquist, Malukas defends, who has it? Over the line, who's it going to be? It's Rosenquist! Oh my goodness!
Felix Rosenquist made a daring pass coming out of the last turn to win in a photo finish. There it is on your screen. He won by 0.023 seconds. It's the closest margin of victory ever at the Indy 500. The race also honored NASCAR driver Kyle Busch, who died at the age of 41 last week. Drivers had his former numbers 8 and 18 on their cars. There was also a moment of remembrance during lap 18. Montreal is hoping to take advantage of home ice advantage tonight in Game 3. It's the 3rd time the Canadians have split the opening 2 games in the postseason. They both went to 7 games, of course. The Eastern Conference Final Series, they opened with a loss and a win against Montreal, or against Carolina, rather. They did the same in Tampa and Buffalo. The puck drops at 6 o'clock our time in Montreal. We need people to get that code word. It's the final week of this contest, Janelle.
Yeah, that's right. You can wake up and win with CTV or Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is 1000. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter 1000 with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, powered by Affinity Credit Union, and Affinity for you. Now, a really great day to be on weather here because we've got beautiful weather coming for us today and even into the rest of the week. Currently in Regina, we're sitting at about 13 degrees. That wind will be picking up. We'll get a little bit more into that later, but again, those temperatures are going to be hot. Currently here in Regina, heading about 17 kilometers per hour. Over to Saskatoon, 12 degrees, seeing those 13 kilometer per hour winds. A little bit of cloud cover in the sky. We can expect to see that sticking around for today, but that sunshine, whatever we will be seeing, is going to be bringing a lot of heat. Now let's take a look at current temperatures throughout the province. Currently in Buffalo, Narrows and Stony Rapids, 5 degrees. Spiritwood, 8. Melfort, 9. Nipawin at 7 and South End, 6. Kindersley and Swift Current at 10 degrees. East End sitting at 12. Yorkton, 11. Wynyard at 9 along with Weyburn, and Estevan, 10. For our futurecast, we can see those clouds moving through. Again, not a whole lot of activity when it does come to that precipitation. Northern Saskatchewan can expect to maybe see some showers a little bit later on tomorrow, into tonight rather, and into tomorrow morning. However, we aren't expecting much for significant rainfall. Now for our highs, the Battlefords at 28 degrees, Swift Current 29, Moose Jaw 31, Yorkton at 25, Estevan 31 as well, Weyburn 32, seeing quite a bit of sunshine throughout the province. Now for our 7-day forecast. Today in Regina, we're seeing that high of about 28. Some cloud cover in the sky, seeing that sun out as well tonight, reaching that low of about 15. Tomorrow, 34. We're going to be seeing these temperatures steadily increase. Wednesday, 32. Thursday, 33. We're ending things off on Friday with 32 and that low of 18. Over the weekend, we can expect to see a little bit of precipitation, some light showers on Saturday, but still seeing about 28 as that high. Sunday, 27. In Saskatoon, 29 today is that high, 13 tonight for the low. Again, lots of sunshine on the way, 31 tomorrow for that high. Wednesday sitting at about 32. Now, Saturday, Saskatoon and those surrounding communities can also expect to see some rain. Still reaching that high of about 31 and 17 Saturday night for the low. And on Sunday, 28. In case you missed it, NASA is getting ready to launch its new telescope. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is named after NASA's first chief astronomer. She was one of the first scientists to push for putting telescopes in space. This way they can take pictures without the Earth's atmosphere in the way. This telescope has a field of view 100 times wider than that of the Hubble. It can potentially measure light from 1 billion galaxies in its lifetime. Launch day is planned for September.
Great. More space junk. We like space junk. We've talked about that on this show.
Give me them pretty pictures.
There's lots of stuff out there.
Maybe they'll make a discovery, though.
Ooh. This is where Jeremy spends the next 12 minutes telling us why we should search the oceans as opposed to outer space. Outer space.
Never bore our viewers with such nonsense.
To me, it is scintillating conversation. Director Corey's not. What?
Time for questions.
All right. I told you.
There it is.
I told you.
There it is. We can't do it because we won't get the chance. How do you beat the heat on hot days? You saw her weather board, the 7-day forecast. That's a lot of 30s in a row.
Yeah, tons of beautiful weather coming our way. How do you stay cool?
What a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can text us at 10400. Standard message and data rates may apply, or scan the QR code. Jeremy, do you have any advice for our viewers on staying cool?
Honestly? Stay inside. Like, what else can you do? When it's 34 degrees out, the way the world has become, that's really the only real option, right? Or unless you have a pool or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just hug my AC unit, which is going to be a very loving embrace. Might also go to the Balgoni pool. The pool opens today, 25th.
Right. Oh,
right. The outdoor pool season
Perfect
is
day
here.
for it.
So scan that QR code. Let us know what you're going to do to beat the heat this week. We're coming back with more right after this.
Canada's economy likely returned to growth in Q1, with GDP bouncing back by an annualized 1.7% after declining 0.6% in Q4. It was supported by improving domestic growth drivers, according to RBC. The bank says details behind the decline in Q4 were less concerning than the headlines. Pembina Pipelines has sanctioned the Heartland Extraction Plant, a $570 million project expected to enter service in late 2029, and amended its ethane supply agreement with Dow to increase total supply 15% to 57,500 barrels per day. The plant will have 750 million cubic feet of capacity to extract natural gas liquids. Brookfield has got the green light from the TSX to renew its normal course issuer bid to purchase up to 191 million Class A limited voting shares, representing 10% of the public float, according to the company. The maximum daily purchase will be 722,000. And Tim Hortons is planning to dial back its use of Ottawa's temporary foreign worker program to staff restaurants and committing to hire up to 10,000 local workers as it embarks on a push to expand the number of Tim's locations across the country. For years, Tim Hortons was one of the biggest proponents of the controversial immigration stream. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, time for whether or not the southern hemisphere does not experience an aurora. Is it true or false?
Jeremy?
Oh. Well,
everything
I don't know. I guess they're called northern lights, so I'll go with false.
Okay.
I'm going to go with true just to be different. They got to have something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so we got a true and we got a false. Janelle, what is it?
All right, so the correct answer is false.
Oh.
Yeah. Southern lights equals auroras australis. Wait.
They're the same thing, apparently.
Wait.
That's still an aurora, though.
Well.
Something a little bit different. Let's go to Health News
The question asked, is there an aurora?
So I guess in a way.
To differentiate. It's true, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll sit and think on that one.
It's okay.
Whether you're watching TV,
34 pounds down on GLP-1s.
taking the train, or scrolling social media.
I'm down a total of 122 pounds.
GLP-1 weight loss drugs are everywhere, fueled by celebrity endorsement and social media buzz. And some of the biggest names are talking about them openly.
Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah. The numbers tell the story. We've seen rapid growth of GLP-1 usage in recent years, with 1 in 8 U.S. adults on a GLP-1.
The sales are greater than some long-entrenched medicines which were for cancer.
Dr. Louis Aroni says the surge isn't surprising. The demand has always been there.
We just haven't had good treatments that were widely available. Now that we do, we're seeing the results of this pent-up demand.
GLP-1 medicines are not only effective in producing weight loss, but doctors say it is changing how they're treating chronic health issues altogether.
Instead of waiting for people to develop diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, we're going to treat the obesity first.
I started having problems with high blood pressure, pre-diabetes, and I feel absolutely amazing. This honestly has been a godsend.
While the cost is a barrier for some, a new Medicare pilot program is chopping the price down to just a $50 copay per month. And with oral versions of the drug now available, Dr. Aroni believes GLP-1s will become even more popular.
They're cheaper to move around. You don't have to refrigerate them.
If you're interested in a GLP-1 treatment, talk to your doctor and use a licensed pharmacy.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, 13 degrees. Lunchtime is bringing us to 25, and about 3 p.m. final bell, 28. In Saskatoon, 12 degrees by the time you get onto the bus. Lunchtime, 24, and another beautiful 28 by final bell. Here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.79.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.49.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $1.82.9, and the lowest you might find is $1.67.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola is $708.25 per ton. The futures price is $745.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat is $294.52 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.42 cents U.S.
6:31, let's get right to your headlines. For this part of the hour, the House of Commons will resume sitting this week as MPs begin their final stretch before Parliament breaks for the summer. The government is still trying to implement its spring economic update. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is planning to push for debate on how the government handles First Nations land claims in light of a BC decision around Aboriginal land title. This week, Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand is preparing to host her Chinese counterpart, the first visit to Canada of its kind since 2016. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says there won't be another vote if the Remain side wins the referendum planned for this fall.
Does win, do you promise, as long as you're Premier, you will not hold a separation referendum?
Yes, I do. I will listen to the will of the people.
Now, Premier Smith made the commitment while speaking on CTV's Question Period. A yes result in the fall referendum could trigger a binding vote on separating from the country. Premier Smith says the vote is needed to settle the debate, but not everyone in the province is convinced.
Seems like Danielle Smith's trying to make this happen one way or another.
Danielle Smith will not stand up and say, just stop it, because she's all part of this.
Alberta's referendum is set for October 19th. The Saskatchewan government is correcting something overlooked when the legislative building was designed over a century ago. It's a washroom for female members. Wayne Mantika explains now what's being done.
Construction crews are building a female members' washroom in an area just outside the Saskatchewan Legislative Assembly chamber.
I think this has been a project that has been known it needs to be done.
Back in the early 1900s, a female members' washroom wasn't included in plans for the legislative building because women didn't have the right to vote or to sit as elected members.
Sarah Ramsland was the first MLA, female member here in the Saskatchewan legislature back in 1919 to 23. Now we've got 30% of the members are female, and until this time we had a need for this.
The male members' washroom has been renovated over the years and still contains many of the original fixtures dating back over a century. The new female members' washroom will be of similar quality.
Marble, you see some oak, you see some tiles, and some heritage lighting, and balanced with the needs of barrier-free and family washroom aspects.
The new female members' washroom will be shared by both government and opposition MLAs, as is the case with the male members' restroom. It is being built with the approval of both sides of the House. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A woman is truly lucky to be alive this morning after a mid-air collision while she was paragliding in an Australian Alps. Now, here's the video to prove it with Hannah Bata.
Is the moment a plane collides with the canopy of a paraglider, sending her plunging to Earth. The woman, named Sabrina, posted a video of her flying in the Austrian Alps when the plane rams through her parachute. The canopy ripping apart, she plummets to the ground. Moments later, she's able to pull a secondary chute and land safely. Tracking data shows Sabrina's flight over the mountains, showing the moment she suddenly fell out of the sky, dropping 2,000 feet in 2 minutes. Sabrina later writing, "I actually still can't believe that I'm sitting here typing this, and that aside from a few nasty bruises and some general contusions, absolutely nothing happened." Police say the pilot of the plane did not see her until it was too late to steer away. Some online finding the video hard to believe. One commenter posting, "When you hope it's AI." Another saying, "I'm now expecting to see recreations of this accident in action movies." Turns out it's already happened in the movies to a different person from Austria, Arnold Schwarzenegger. His parachute took a hit in the 1996 film Eraser. Unlike in Sabrina's case, the plane in the movie was trying to hit Arnold. But like Sabrina, he also landed safely.
Sabrina is an experienced paraglider. She was later picked up by a police helicopter. Hannah Bata, ABC News, New York.
For the first time in more than 3 decades, the Saskatchewan Roughriders played a preseason game in Saskatoon, and it came complete with a party in the park and everything. A welcome change of scenery for many fans. While the setting was a little different, one fan we spoke to says it's the same no matter where you go. This is Rider Nation.
You know, it doesn't feel different at all, really. I mean, it's just different city, different venue, and that's it. I mean, it's still, the Rider Pride is everywhere. Like, fans are everywhere, you know? Like, I mean, it's a culture, right?
7,654 people came out to the big game, and they had some good temperatures, unlike the F1 race in Montreal that was rained on. We're going to face 30 all week.
Yeah, we've got beautiful temperatures coming our way, lots of sunshine, lots of heat. Let's take a look right now at our current temperature here in Regina. 13 degrees, seeing those winds at about 17 kilometers per hour. A little bit of cloud cover in the sky, but we will mainly be seeing sun today and pretty well for the rest of the week. Over to Saskatoon now, 12 degrees here right now, 13 kilometer per hour wind speeds. A little bit more cloud cover in the sky, but those temperatures are not going to be impacted very much by this. Let's take a look now at currents throughout the province. Spiritwood sitting at about 8 degrees. Buffalo Narrows at 10, Stony Rapids 5, Nipawin 7, Hudson Bay 10 degrees. Kindersley 10 as well, along with Swift Current. East End sitting at 12, Yorkton 11, and Wynyard 9. Now for our futurecast, we can see those clouds moving through. Again, not seeing any rain. Thunderstorms not expected quite yet. A little bit of rain up towards northern Saskatchewan, but for the most part, we're seeing these clear skies, which will also be bringing in that heat. Lots of sunshine. For our highs, the Battleford's at 28 degrees, Prince Albert sitting at 26, Yorkton 25, Weyburn at 32, Estevan 31, along with Moose Jaw, Swift Current 29. Like we can see on this board, lots of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover. Make sure you're putting on your sunscreen, especially this week. Now for our 7-day forecast here in Regina, 28 is our high for today, reaching that low of about 15 tonight. Tomorrow, 34 degrees. On Wednesday, 32. Thursday brings us to 33, Friday 32 as well. Now some precipitation we can expect to see on Saturday, still reaching about 28 degrees for that high, but some scattered flurries. Gosh, no. Showers coming through. Thank goodness no flurries. And on Sunday, 27 with that sunshine. Saskatoon, 29 today for that high. 13 tonight is the low. Tomorrow reaching 31. Wednesday, a beautiful 32. Thursday getting even hotter with 34. Now Saturday again, some showers rolling in. Cooling things off a little bit, but not by much, because 31 is that high on Saturday, reaching that low of 17 Saturday night. Sunday, seeing a little bit more cloud cover in the sky, but still reaching 28 for the high.
The Canadian Centre for Child Protection is calling for better protection of kids online. I'm joined now by Miranda Jordan-Smith at the Centre. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thank you for coming on, Miranda. You guys have a creative new campaign, but before we get into that, let's just talk about the issue. You say children are in danger online, and you're hoping the government will do something about it.
That's right. We have a national campaign that we've launched just last week. The focus of the campaign is to urge the federal government to enact legislation and implement effective legislation that will safeguard our children and ultimately hold tech companies accountable for the wrongdoing and all of the harm that we're seeing at the center.
Okay, let's talk about the message itself. It's being punctuated with this classic Meatloaf song. It's pretty clever. We've seen it on TV and socials a little bit. If you haven't already, you'll come across it. What is the message here?
I think using the Meatloaf song, it's a very well-known song. It's a power ballad that's been adapted to fit with the campaign message. The campaign itself shows parents doing intuitively very active things that they do in their everyday to the haunting sort of adapted version of Meatloaf's I'd Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That. And the campaign that we've released is punctuated by a girl that's sitting on her bed looking at her phone, basically indicating that there is no protection and that there are no guardrails, which why we have the call to action for government to put in place legislation that holds tech companies accountable.
Okay, so the Centre for Child Protection has done so much work to try and combat child abuse online, but it is more rampant than ever. You care to share some of the data that you guys are working with?
Sure. Well, I can share with you that our cybertip.ca hotline has received over 27,000 cybertip reports in 2025, almost 30% of which are from youth. We've seen a 300% increase in reports related to sextortion in the last 5 years. We've seen a 61% increase in reports of non-consensual sharing of intimate imagery, 9,000 cases of sexually explicit deepfake imagery, 68 cases of extreme online violence reported in 2025, and in 2022 there were only 5. So this is something that we need to really pull the emergency brake on. The levels of harm are just increasing at an astronomical rate. So we're hoping that with some federal legislation in place that will hold tech accountability, it's basically something that needs to happen. Other countries are moving in this direction across the world, and parents simply can't do it alone.
It does seem to be an idea that is gaining steam, and I'm sure that with the influence of the Child Protection Agency, we may see it become a little more closer to reality. Miranda, thank you so much. ProtectChildren.ca. Go there, see the new campaign and all the Canadian Centre for Child Protection does, and try to keep our kids safe. Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Indianapolis. The greatest spectacle in racing. The Indy 500 came down to the final lap. David Malukas leading off the final turn, but Felix Rosenqvist gets a run, pulls out, and wins the drag race to the checkered flag, the closest Indianapolis 500 finish in history, separated by 0.023 seconds as they cross the yard of bricks. A win of a lifetime for the Swedish driver and the must-see moment from Sunday. Tonight on TSN, we've got Game 4 of the East Finals in the NBA. The Knicks with a chance to eliminate the Cavaliers and move on to the NBA Finals. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Mike Sionis found himself immersed in music this morning. You're hitting all the right notes, Mike.
Without question, I'm here actually at Bethlehem High School with Jean-Michel Bourgeois, former chairperson of the Saskatchewan Band Association. Pretty exciting times for that organization as they've launched a new YouTube channel and the inaugural video, which really speaks to kind of the whole purpose of band in schools. Tell me about it.
The purpose of band in schools, obviously, first and foremost, is music education. But beyond that, band in school promotes the well-being and the growth of the entire person. We're looking at soft skills like perseverance, work ethic, the attention to detail, and the ability for a person to express themselves safely in a safe place like their band room.
I like that. Now, it's also perhaps that hidden message, and not hidden in the video, it's right clearly stated, the teamwork component. So often we associate sport with team, but a band is an ultimate team as well.
Totally. The collaborative experience in music education, specifically in the band room, is that nobody's sitting on the bench. Your part is a critical part, and without it, we're losing your color, your voice, and the way that you contribute to the overall musical sound.
Now, you've obviously a former chairperson of the Saskatchewan Band Association, as we've stated. What does that organization do, and how does it kind of further music education?
The mandate of the Saskatchewan Band Association is to enrich the lives of all people in Saskatchewan through engagement in band music. So their job really is to help expose people to band, get them engaged in any way, shape, or form, whether that be playing, whether that be volunteering, donating, or the most important part, listening.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's great. Now, you're a percussionist by trade, and I see some big drums back here. So you know where this is going. As the morning continues, I'm going to try to coerce Jean-Michel to let us bang on some drums here.
Go on, get it on, Mike. Thanks so much.
It's May 25th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 9th birthday to Danielle. This is coming with love from your family. Happy 21st birthday to Alyssa. Cheers to 21 years of love and laughter from your family. And today is Miles' birthday. Happy birthday to you. Love your cousins, Reed and Drew. Happy belated birthday to Jess and Mandy from your friends and family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Well, it's Monday on the radio. What's going on?
We are talking about something that you did as a kid that was very normal, it did it every day type thing, and now to explain it to a new generation is so confusing. Over the weekend here, we were talking with our 13-year-old niece, and she was telling us how hacky sack is making a triumphant return, which we were pretty excited about. And I told her my prize hacky sack was from Pepsi points. And then that was when the mass confusion came of me telling her how there used to be like these plastic things under the cap, and you would collect all of these points and mail it in, and someone would count it over there, and you would have a catalog catalog that you would order it from. It was a whole process. Left me feeling very old. So what's that for you? You can text over 54321. Also get ready. Name that sound. Coming up next hour, we're at $1,900 and 740 is when we'll play.
Uh-oh, you're maddening all of Saskatchewan again, Chase. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Daryl. We'll see you next hour.
Ultra-realism is actually the hardest thing to do. It's hard to fabricate ultra-realism.
Idris Elba says realistically he was never in the running to play James Bond. The fan-favorite actor tells People magazine, despite years of speculation, the current search for the next 007 does not include him. My name's not getting thrown out, no way, says Elba. They're going younger, and I wish them all the luck in the world.
What's your problem, Kazansky? You're everyone's problem.
A Val Kilmer Top Gun prop leads the latest golden pop culture auction. Iceman's flight helmet from the iconic film includes the oxygen mask and hose connector. Other items up for bid include an Xbox 360 Pac-Man World Championship console signed by Pac-Man creator Toru Iwatani and a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Spider-Man in a Marvel comic. The auction runs through June 17th at golden.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Always do here. Guests go first. That means you.
All right. Well, what better sound is there than a baby's laugh?
What?
Listen to that laugh. This is baby Kim Ji-hun, and he can't contain himself as his dad helps him kick the floating plastic bag. His laugh is so infectious. His mom and dad are cracking up as well as the 22 million people who viewed this video.
22 million.
Wow, that's a viral video.
Holy moly.
Jeremy, next time you come to Regina, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'll hop in your arms because you're very strong. And we'll kick him. We'll play Keepy Uppy.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We'll play Keepy Uppy.
Wow.
Now to a flock
22 million views, baby.
Yeah, so we get at least 22.1. They found themselves in a bit of a pickle, these two.
Oh my gosh.
Like this. It says no foul play here. I wish I had. These little ducklings slipped into a sewer, and the firemen came to save them.
Oh, they all skedaddle away.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Aw, goodbye, guys.
Safely back on your way.
I suspected I saw some ducks down a sewer drain. The mom was like standing by it.
No.
I didn't really know who to do. Do you call the fire department? It seems like they might have bigger issues to deal with.
Sometimes the wildlife here in Regina, you'd call Salthaven West. They'd come out and help you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last soccer game, my U6 team, there was a frog down a manhole just off the field, and that took all of their attention.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine.
Referee's like, yes, it's a Ninja Turtle. Can we play soccer?
It's a Ninja Turtle.
We got time for this. There's first time for everything, even for dogs. First rainfall for this pup.
Oh my goodness.
Very first rainfall, and I'm going to get every drop.
Oh, this is magical.
What a serene way to send us into a commercial break. Let's just watch and listen. It's Monday, May 25th.
Let's see what happens. We're going to give diplomacy every chance to succeed before we explore the alternatives.
Another potential deal to end the war on Iran is on the table.
Like 1 second doing the other, like baby was just out in my hand.
And this baby just couldn't wait. A newborn delivered on the side of the Trans-Canada because labor and delivery services at a local hospital were closed.
The checkered flag's there again for Kimi Antonelli. Second time penalty, and then the 10 seconds.
It came on a new date on the race calendar, but it was the same thrill for fans at the Canadian Grand Prix. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thanks for being back with us.
Rough weekend for the both of us. I got a parking ticket parking in front of my own house.
Yeah.
Because allegedly I was too close to the alley.
That's
which
a tough one.
Seems like a made-up bylaw. and you lost a part of your car.
Yes, yeah. Dalton tripped over the gas hose when we were at the...
Is there security video we can access to watch this happen?
There has to be. I would give anything to watch this back.
So he knocked... you open the gas to put the
yes,
and he knocked that thing off. The door is gone.
The door is gone, ripped right off. Everybody at the gas station looked at us. Very loud, big ordeal. But at least the weather was nice.
I'm sure he's pumped to hear this. It's going to be shared across Saskatchewan. Congratulations on your new door you're about to install. Let's get to news. The U.S. and Iran could be one step closer to securing a deal.
We have what I think is a pretty solid thing on the table in terms of their ability to open up the straits, get the straits open, enter into a very real, significant, time-limited negotiation on the nuclear matters, and hopefully we can pull it off. It has a lot of support in the Gulf.
According to regional officials, the deal would gradually reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the blockade of Iranian ports. It would also involve a 60-day ceasefire extension. In exchange, Iran would need to give up its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, with further talks needed on the details. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who you heard from off the top there, reiterated the U.S. president is not in a hurry. The price of oil has tumbled on news that Iran may be close to a deal. Brent crude is down about 5% this morning, falling below the $100 U.S. a barrel mark. U.S. President Donald Trump has said a deal with Iran would include reopening the strait, as you just heard. Stocks also reacting this morning. Markets in Japan and Taiwan jumped to a record high. Stocks in Europe are mostly in the green. Wall Street is closed today. It is Memorial Day in the U.S. As Ottawa prepares to spend billions of dollars on a new fleet of submarines, the Navy of the Republic of Korea has arrived along the BC coast with a vessel vying for Canada's contract. Adrian Gobriel reports.
Titled the patriotic song, the Republic of Korea's national anthem is played in harmony with O Canada. The nation's two navies coming together in Victoria, BC to remember the 516 Canadians killed in the Korean War and honor those who survived the historic battle that began 76 years ago.
Our first casualty was the 1st of January.
A recognition of the past as the two middle powers work to ignite tighter military bonds into the future.
Every time you have the opportunity to work at sea, we should.
The Korean Navy arrived at CFB Esquimalt this weekend, bringing its KSS-3 submarine. A bid is in place for Canada to purchase 12 of these South Korean subs. The only other finalist vying to deliver Canada's next-generation submarine is a joint German-Norwegian submission. Ottawa will announce the winning multi-billion-dollar contract this summer. While putting their best marketing pitch forward, the Korean Navy is also here working with Canada to conduct the two countries' first ever exclusive joint naval drills in a simulated wartime environment. Frigates, submarines, and the Air Force are all involved. The Republic of Korea's Admiral Chief of Naval Operations telling CTV News that cooperation in the open ocean means security and prosperity.
Improving our capability as a military.
CTV News spoke one-on-one with Maritime Forces Pacific Rear Admiral David Pichel about the importance of working with allies in a quickly changing geopolitical landscape.
The more we work together, learning how to communicate, how to operate, understanding the capabilities of each other's navies, so then we build that trust. So when we need to fight together, we're ready to do so.
Celebrating his 98th birthday, his experience fighting alongside Korean soldiers has stayed with retired Major Jerry Ratchford.
United Nations Service Medal for Korea.
You wear them proudly?
Yes, I do.
The Korean War veteran believes a rekindled relationship between the two proud nations will serve Canadians well for generations to come.
Today means unification between the two countries, and I hope it stays that way.
The current joint naval exercise underscores the importance for the Royal Canadian Navy to have deeper connectivity and cooperation with allied nation navies from these waters into the Indo-Pacific, the Arctic, and Atlantic Oceans. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, CFB Esquimalt.
Turn our attention to Saskatoon, and that was the site for the Spring Métis Nation Legislative Assembly, Jeremy.
Yeah, Daryl, a two-day meeting. It brought together delegates from across the province to discuss a number of topics. 18 new local presidents were sworn in, and a commitment was made for the group's annual General Assembly. Now, additionally, the MLA saw the affirmation of Métis harvesting rights and the prioritization of child and family services.
It gives us an opportunity to be able to bring people together from right across the province, like I said, to be able to hear them in regards to what we need to hear as far as maybe falling short in regards to what we deliver. But then most importantly, too, is to be able to get to know their government. You know, sometimes governments are limited in regards to what they can do, but at the same time, gives us an idea in regards to where we can work a little harder.
Now, the meeting was the first of two assemblies for the year, and the next one is scheduled for the fall. While many sports fans gathered in Saskatoon for the Rider game this weekend, there was another athletic event drawing in big crowds.
Are you set? Go!
Yeah, these are the 5th annual Corgi races hosted at Cross Mount Cider Company yesterday afternoon. 60 four-legged athletes, I guess, showcased their speed in front of the crowd. One of the organizers said the event has been getting larger every year thanks to the love for the breed.
They love to work and they love to play, and we think people love coming out because it is such a fun event to watch. Now, some corgis race, some corgis frolic, some corgis don't do what they're supposed to do, and that's the fun of it.
Now, in addition to the races, participating dogs also had the chance to show off their Sunday best in a costume parade. Now, 2 new private pickleball clubs are set to open in Saskatchewan's 2 big cities.
Yeah, that is true. I don't think we ran enough corgi video. Pickler Canada is announcing that it is bringing its indoor facilities to Regina and to Saskatoon. A location will open in each centre later this year. Saskatoon's already got multiple indoor locations, while Regina's is at the Real District. It's set to close at the end of the month. Pickler says it's filling a much-needed gap as the game continues to grow province-wide.
There's huge demand. So I think there could be more courts open beyond even what we know of now, and everybody would have players. My vision is just to really have a friendly, fun, clean, good quality environment for playing pickleball. We'll have good programming for all levels, all skill levels, leagues, tournaments.
Saskatoon's got a 31,000 square foot facility set to open this fall, while location in Regina is still being identified. But in the time being, Owen, who you just heard from there, says we'll be opening a temporary site soon. Saskatchewan Sikhs took to Regina streets to celebrate this weekend. The day started out with the parade and then progressed its way to Oskana Centre Park. The Khalsa was created in April of 1699, where the 10th Guru tested the Sikhs by asking for volunteers to look for sacrifices themselves. The first 5 devoters formed the first Khalsa.
The Sikh values are actually Canadian values. The Sikh values of inclusivity. The Sikh values are that of standing against injustice. The Sikh values are of that earning an honest wage, earning your honest living, and then sharing. So this is our way of sharing our culture, our food with everyone to show that we belong here. We are part of the Canadian and the Saskatchewan fabric.
4,000 or 5,000 people marched in that parade. Emily Cooper is saying au revoir.
Hey, it's Lily. I just wanted to share something with you all. After 6 unforgettable years of playing Emily Cooper, I'm here to share that this upcoming 6th season will be our final. Season 6.
Oh, my wife's going to be so sad. Emily in Paris is ending on a high note. Season 6 will be the final chapter of the comedy series. Production has started filming in Greece. The location change picks up from the Season 5 cliffhanger. Let's get over to the Weather Center to talk about the $20,000 you might be able to win.
That's right. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is 1,000. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Enter 1,000 with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. Now let's take a look at these beautiful current temperatures we're seeing here in Saskatchewan. 15 degrees in Regina, seeing that sun out. Those winds are at about 26 kilometers per hour. Now we are expecting some more wind here today, but those temperatures won't be impacted. Over to Saskatoon, 13 degrees, a little bit more cloud cover in the sky and about 15 kilometer per hour winds. Now let's take a look at currents throughout the province. Starting to see these rise. Buffalo Narrows at 11 degrees, Spiritwood at 9, South End and La Ronge both at 10, Nipawin 12, Hudson Bay sitting at 13 along with Kindersley, East End 15, Weyburn 11, Wynyard and Yorkton 12. Now for our future cast, again, nothing of significance that we're seeing here. Some cloud cover moving through the province. Now this is tomorrow morning around 9:15. Northern Saskatchewan could be seeing a little bit of rain, just some scattered showers, but we aren't expecting much precipitation out of this. And by the afternoon, it'll be gone. Now for highs today, the Battleford's at 28, Swift Current sitting at 29, Regina 28 as well, Yorkton 25, Weyburn 32, Estevan 31, seeing lots of beautiful sunshine. For our 5-day forecast here in Regina, 28 is our high for today, seeing about 15 tonight as that low. Tomorrow 34, Wednesday sitting at about 32, Thursday 33, and Friday wrapping up the week on 32 degrees for that high, 18 that night for the low. Over to Saskatoon now, 29 today as that high, 13 tonight for the low. Tomorrow sitting at about 31. Again, seeing these temperatures steadily increase to 32 on Wednesday. Seeing some more cloud cover, but mainly sunshine on Thursday with 34 degrees. Friday, we are wrapping up the week with more sunshine. 33 is that high, reaching about 20 as the low. Time for today's rural forecast. Lloydminster is seeing 27 degrees, Kindersley 29 and beautifully sunny skies. Hudson Bay along with Wynyard both at 25, East End 28, Maple Creek and Leader 30 degrees, Kenora 25 and Broadview 27. Now let's take a look at Buchanan, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel, reaching that high of about 24 degrees today. Those mainly sunny skies, a little bit of cloud cover, and those winds reaching up to about 25 kilometers per hour.
All right, let's head back out to Mike Siona now, who is learning about the importance of music in the classroom. Mike?
Yeah, certainly are this morning. We're at Bethlehem High School with Jan-Michael Bourgeois talking all about the Saskatchewan Band Association. And I was told by a very reputable source that percussionists are the smartest in the band anyways. You wouldn't refute that, would you?
Oh, it's absolutely correct.
He's a percussionist. Full disclosure here. We are having fun back here. And this is where the magic happens. Let's talk not just about percussions and rhythms and things like that, but about the band in general and the value that programs like this have to Saskatchewan students.
Yeah. Well, as we teach band in high school and in elementary school, one of the most important parts that we teach are those soft skills like we talked about earlier: collaboration, self-discipline, perseverance, dedication to your craft. And just like we were talking a minute ago, that extra 10% where we have to actually get to the music making is like the hardest part, but it can be some of the most rewarding and fun parts of playing in a band.
Yeah, exactly. We were also talking off camera, of course, so try and get that into 2 minutes here into live television, but about band programs being kind of the base level and an introduction and a good solid foundation for music and for music for life.
Yeah, so in band we teach the basic skills of music literacy, listening, and being able to perform on an instrument. And those skills translate across many different ways of life. We get community bands coming out of that. It supports our community orchestra, the Saskatoon Symphony here, but of course the Regina Symphony Orchestra in Saskatchewan. And it kind of allows people to engage in lifelong learning and find a way to engage in music making when they're done high school.
Absolutely. Now, I'm done high school, and we've been trying to engage in music making. And by the way, the Saskatchewan Band Association does have a new YouTube page and a cool video, which is why we are here. But we've been trying to learn how to do a drum roll. Here goes nothing, guys. It's not bad. It's about Not quite 90%, but we're working on it. We're having a lot of fun here this morning. And it's really, it's what it's all about.
That was great, Mike. Off to a great start. I, too, want to bang on the drum all day. We'll check in with you later.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Indianapolis, the greatest spectacle in racing. The Indy 500 came down to the final lap. David Malukas leading off the final turn, but Felix Rosenqvist gets a run, pulls out, and wins the drag race to the checkered flag, the closest Indianapolis 500 finish in history, separated by 0.023 seconds as they cross the yard of bricks. A win of a lifetime for the Swedish driver and the must-see moment from Sunday. Tonight on TSN, we've got Game 4 of the East Finals in the NBA. The Knicks with a chance to eliminate the Cavaliers and move on to the NBA Finals. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
A lot of 30s on the board this week in the Weather Center, which means we have a question of the day that makes sense.
That's right. Today's question is, how do you beat the heat on hot days? We've got some great advice coming in already, just in time.
All the Tiger ice cream, right?
All the Tiger ice cream. I'm not against it. Kim, who says a cold drink while I float in my pool. Kim, I am so envious.
And thank you for the invite, Kim. That's very nice of you. We'll all be there.
We'll be there, Kim. Cam, who says I stay in my house with central air conditioning. Bucky, who says hit the lake if it's good to go. And Michelle, who says I beat the heat in my little apartment by using my portable air conditioner.
Just hugging it the whole time.
The entire day.
Putting it down your pants.
There's an idea.
Gotta stay cool. Gotta stay cool.
Well, Debbie says to stay cool, I keep the blinds and curtains closed.
You've wrecked Janelle. You have wrecked Janelle.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to go home after this journey.
She is damaged now.
And Debbie also says staying out of the sun in peak hours, too.
You remember the sunscreen, and remember if it's too hot out there for you, it's too hot for your pets.
Yes.
The little pads on the foot, right? Scan the QR code. We're back with more Your Morning right after this. My goodness. Fun. The day after The Late Show went off the air with Stephen Colbert, he was back up on TV as a guest host of a community access talk show in Monroe, Michigan.
Hello. Also welcome. It's time for another edition of Only in Monroe.
Okay, so this is his second time hosting this show. He first did it in 2015, right after he ended the Colbert Report. He was going to go to The Late Show, and now he went back. He had Eminem was on the show.
Wow.
His musical director, very disinterested, was Jack White of the White Stripes. And he had Jeff Daniels on the show. He also interviewed the actual hosts of Only in Monroe. So there he is.
Fun.
He said, maybe I'll end up there again. Here he is. Community Access TV.
Good for him.
Let's do our
That's cool.
Let's do our morning mystery. Why don't we? Our morning mystery today is a thing. 3 clues lined up for you. You can play along at home. Apparently, this is a favorite of the parents on my soccer team. So
nice.
We'll talk about this later tonight. This term includes the variety of life at 3 levels: genes, species, and ecosystems.
Okay.
It underpins essentials that we rely on every day, including food, medicines, and healthy ecosystems.
Okay.
The UN spotlights it each year to raise awareness about protecting life on Earth. Well, my wife is a noted ecologist.
Come on.
Is a ecologist, so this is easy. Because if I don't get it right, I can't go home.
Wait.
Boom. I'm ready. You ready? Jeremy doesn't look confident.
I have no idea. I'm taking a wild
What are you
stab.
doing over here?
I'm doing something a little different. I drew a tree.
Oh, well, good. Yeah, I said biodiversity.
Oh.
All of which are probably in their own way correct. Let's see what the answer is. I hope that's right. There it is. Biodiversity
Oh, nice.
is the answer to our morning mystery. Although, bonus points for drawing what looks like, honestly, looks more like broccoli, but a tree.
Broccoli.
Up for interpretation.
Today's morning mystery.
Tasty.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
School day forecast is brought to you by CAA, School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, 15 degrees. Lunchtime brings us to 25, and about 3 p.m. final bell, 28. Over in Saskatoon, 13 by the time you get onto the bus. 12 p.m. noon brings us to 24, and final bell, lots of sunshine and 28 degrees. Here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.79.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.49.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $1.82.9. The lowest you might find is $1.67.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $708.25 per ton. That futures price is $745.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat is $294.52 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.42 cents US.
Just about 7:30 on this Monday. Thank you for being with us. Premiers of Canada's western provinces and territories are meeting in Alberta this week to discuss business and trade. The annual conference runs Monday and Tuesday in Kananaskis, just west of Calgary. While the 7 premiers are set to discuss the economy, defense, and nation-building projects, some of the premiers want to bring up Alberta Premier Danielle Smith's decision to put a question about her province's future within Canada on a referendum this fall. More on that in just a moment. A delegation from India is in Ottawa today for what the federal government says is the largest ever to talk about trade and investment. India's Commerce and Industry Minister will be accompanied by more than 100 senior business officials from industries like mining, energy, and aerospace. Goyal is set to meet with Canada's Minister of International Trade this morning in Ottawa. Also expected to meet with the Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister as well. A Manitoba MLA is facing criticism for comments he made about the Saskatchewan farmer who killed Colton Boushie. During a recent debate about the right to defend their homes, Progressive Conservative MLA Josh Gunter said Gerald Stanley, the man acquitted in Boushie's death, was a victim. Boushie, a 22-year-old Cree man, was shot and killed on Stanley's farm near Biggar, Saskatchewan in 2016. He was acquitted of second-degree murder after testifying that he thought Boushie and others were on his property to steal vehicles and the gun went off accidentally. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew has called the comments hateful and divisive, and he's urging the MLA to reach out and apologize. The Saskatchewan government is correcting something overlooked when the legislative building was designed over a century ago, a restroom for female members. Wayne Mantika reports.
Construction crews are building a female members' washroom in an area just outside the Saskatchewan Legislative Assembly chamber.
I think this has been a project that has been known it needs to be done.
Back in the early 1900s, a female members' washroom wasn't included in plans for the legislative building because women didn't have the right to vote or to sit as elected members.
Sarah Ramsland was the first MLA, female member here in the Saskatchewan legislature back in 1919 to 23. Now we've got 30% of the members are female, and until this time we had a need for this.
The male members' washroom has been renovated over the years and still contains many of the original fixtures dating back over a century. The new female members' washroom will be of similar quality.
Marble, you see some oak, you see some tiles, and some heritage lighting, and balanced with the needs of barrier-free and family washroom aspects.
The new female members' washroom will be shared by both government and opposition MLAs, as is the case with the male members' restroom. It is being built with the approval of both sides of the House. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
That story we mentioned a moment ago, a crucial fall referendum in Alberta will determine if the province moves ahead with an official vote on whether to separate from Canada. Move drawing criticism from both sides. Jeremy Sharon reports.
It's a fall referendum vote Alberta's premier hopes could put an end to a decades-long debate.
We do need to get this issue resolved so that we can come to a conclusion and we can move on from it.
But that isn't exactly how everyone sees it.
Seems like Danielle Smith's trying to make this happen one way or another.
Danielle Smith will not stand up and say, just stop it, because she's all part of this.
The premier insists she's simply respecting democracy, allowing Albertans to decide what happens next.
I respect the grievances that there are in Alberta, but I certainly hope that Canada can overcome them and show that we are the place they want to be.
It's upsetting because I would like Canada to stay together.
Smith says that's what she wants too, for Canada to stay together. And speaking with CTV's Question Period host Vashi Kapelos, the premier made this commitment.
If the Remain side does win, do you promise, as long as you're premier, you will not hold a separation referendum?
Yes, I do. I will listen to the will of the people, and that's why I'm going to be advocating on that side. But it goes the other way as well. That if Albertans vote the other way, then we'll have to begin the legal process to get to a binding referendum.
The question being asked this fall is whether Albertans want a separate official referendum on separation. That could trigger another binding vote to leave the country.
It has to be a very simple, clear question.
But even if a majority vote to leave, the path to do so is unclear and would start by triggering something called the Clarity Act.
There's no question of separating under the Canadian Constitution. You have to have the majority of provinces and the Parliament agreeing to your separation.
It would require the Supreme Court's involvement and a negotiated agreement between all provinces and the federal government.
And piling on to the complexity, legal experts also suggest a court decision earlier this month to throw out a pro-separation petition for its lack of consultation with First Nations indicates that would play a crucial role in any secession.
Russia this morning says it's not done attacking Kyiv. After Russia carried out a wave of strikes on Saturday, launching hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles, including a hypersonic missile. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says Kyiv was a main target, although other regions were also hit. Russia called the attack retaliation on an alleged deadly attack on a student dormitory. Authorities on both sides this morning say at least 8 people have been killed in missile and drone attacks in the past 24 hours. Canadian filmmakers recognized in Yorkton this weekend.
I did not push that, don't cry, I know we grew up around that,
79th Annual Yorkton Film Festival handed out several awards in various categories. The Blackfoot Man won for the Best of Festival and Best Featured Documentary. The Best of Saskatchewan award was given to Lowell Dean for his film, Die Alone.
There was never a guarantee that we would get to make this movie, and especially not in Saskatchewan. And the recent support that Creative Saskatchewan got, the increased incentive, is 100% the reason that we were looking at other provinces, and that's the reason we got to come home and make a movie with friends.
Next year's a big one, 80 years. Sometimes babies just can't wait, and with labor services suspended at their local hospital in New Brunswick, this couple had no choice but to pull over and let things happen.
That feeling like this baby's coming out.
1 second doing the other, baby was just out in my hands.
Hospital they were supposed to deliver at was 7 minutes away, but it was closed because of ongoing staffing shortages. So this couple was headed to the next nearest one, which was more than an hour away on the Trans-Canada. This was a month ago, and today everyone is doing well. There was no labor and delivery services at the Upper River Valley Hospital until June 1st. So far this year, the unit was closed 3 times, often for a week. New Brunswick's health minister says a new obstetrician is being hired and other recruitment efforts are ongoing to prevent more closures. AI was the main theme in Pope Leo's first major theological document. In his first, Pope Leo urges governments around the world to slow down the development of AI. He says the technology should not only be in private hands, and the governments need to protect workers and children from the technology. The Riders hit the turf for their second preseason game, marking the first time in many, many years they were at Griffith Stadium, decades in fact. Hallie Mandrick was there.
For the first time in more than 3 decades, Rider fans gathered in Saskatoon to watch their team hit the turf in a preseason game.
It's close. Like Saskatoon would be the dream to have the Riders here playing. 31 years for this to happen. This is great. This is great.
So are you hoping it becomes an annual tradition?
100%. Annual. I'll be here every year.
Prior to kickoff, fans gathered next to Griffith Stadium for Party in the Park, where folks like Dave Wilbaum and his family showcased handmade game day outfits, which turned many heads.
We've been across Canada. We've been to Halifax, been to the Rider games out there, and lots of comments.
And it wasn't just Rider fans who made their way to Saskatoon for the game. Shannon Gilchrist traveled from Vancouver to catch her first ever Rider game, donning blue and gold.
My family is from Saskatoon, and so we were always big Rider fans, but I was always a Weston Dressler fangirl, and so I went with him when he went to the Blue Bombers. Oh my God. And I've been a Bomber fan ever since, so it was kind of perfect for the Rough Riders against the Bombers in Saskatoon.
While many Rider fans are happy to take a lengthy road trip to watch the team play, the change in venue allowed for some to cut down on travel time.
It feels good being here, like getting able to watch the Riders like closer to home. We didn't have to travel like a few hours. We only traveled like 4, not like 8.
While the setting looked a little different, one fan says Rider Nation feels the same no matter the location.
You know, it doesn't feel different at all, really. I mean, it's just different city, different venue, and that's it. I mean, it's still, the Rider Pride is everywhere. Like, fans are everywhere, you know? Like, I mean, it's a culture, right?
The game saw more than 7,000 fans fill the seats of Griffith Stadium. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
There's now a little more than 2 weeks to go until the opening match of the FIFA World Cup.
In 2012, Canada was 112th in the world. Now we're one of the top 30. That's a 75% increase. I'm an economist. It's a 75% increase. We belong on the pitch.
Iconic solid gold trophy was in Ottawa over the weekend as part of a 10-day tour ahead of the tournament. It kicks off on June 11th. Toronto will host 6 matches. Vancouver gets 7. Canada's first match against Bosnia-Herzegovina kicks off Toronto June 12th. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Janelle Lippi in for Kayleen Sawatsky this morning, and you've got wonderful temperatures.
I do. Great news to share with you guys because we have a beautiful week ahead of us. Let's take a look right now at this current temperature in Regina, seeing about 15 degrees. Now, those wind speeds are picking up a little bit, currently at about 26 kilometers per hour. Lots of sunshine in the sky. Let's check out Saskatoon, 13 degrees. Those wind speeds a little bit slower at 15 kilometers per hour. Little bit more cloud cover, but again, most of Saskatchewan will be seeing that sun come out at any point here today. We'll get more into that coming up, but first let's take a look at our current temperatures throughout the province. Buffalo Narrows sitting at 11, Spiritwood 9 degrees, Melfort and Hudson Bay at 13, Nipawin 12, South End 10, Kindersley 13, East End 15, Yorkton and Estevan both at 12, Weyburn 11 degrees, and of course Saskatoon at that 13-degree mark. Now for our future cast, we can see those clouds moving through the province. We aren't expecting to see much, if any, precipitation. However, there is that small chance up in northern Saskatchewan about tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning, where you might be seeing some scattered showers moving through. Again, nothing of significance. Some cloud cover in the sky, mainly sunny skies, however. Now for these highs, the Battleford's at 28 degrees, Swift Current plenty of sunshine and 29, Moose Jaw 31, Yorkton 25, Estevan 31 as well, and Weyburn sitting at 32. Now for a 7-day forecast here in Regina, 28 degrees for our high today, seeing that sunshine out. Tomorrow even hotter at 34 degrees. If you are outside for this week, make sure you're drinking lots of water. Put on that sunscreen because the UV is going to be very high. Wednesday sitting at about 32, Thursday 33, Friday back to 32. Now Saturday, still beautiful temperatures at about 28 degrees for the high. Some rain on the way as well. And on Sunday, those skies are clearing up and bringing us to 27. Over to Saskatoon, 29 today is that high, 13 tonight for the low. Again, seeing some cloud cover in the sky. However, more sunshine expected for tomorrow, 31 degrees as that high. We'll get through the week with these increasing temperatures. Thursday bringing us to 34. Friday 33, and Saturday again a little bit more precipitation in Saskatoon and those surrounding communities. Still about 31 for that high, 17 Saturday night as the low. Sunday still some cloud cover in the sky, a little bit more sunshine, and 28.
Lots going on at the Regina Food Bank. We need an update with the interim CEO, Evelyn Serta, in studio this morning. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
In case somebody landed here from Neptune, remind people what the food bank is all about.
Yeah, so the food bank, we address food insecurity through food provision, our food programs, and some support systems or referrals to other agencies. And, you know, we're just trying to fight food insecurity in the community.
You were sitting in the green room, you saw those temperatures, the summer-like conditions, and this is typically the time of year where everyone starts thinking about outdoors and getting out and not necessarily donating and things like that. So how badly do you need the support right now?
Yeah, I mean, the demand doesn't slow down during the summer. We still have all our clients coming in. We also extend our services to through the summer as the summer food hampers for kids, because once school is done, we still have a lot of kids that...
Those food programs go away.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have our summer hampers, and they're very important for give some continuous support to those families that might be experiencing food insecurity.
Are we still seeing families that wouldn't necessarily use your services at any other time, but inflation's up, affordability's up, and they're slipping down into having to go and use your services?
Yeah, I mean, we continuously see a lineup at the door just for people to register, and we, you know, with conditions how they are, we imagine that it's going to continue to increase. Yeah.
So you're trying to up the donations and things like that. You've got a summer campaign happening.
We have our summer campaign coming up, so people keep an eye on your mailboxes for that. And then as well, you know, we're always in need of volunteers. We need about 15 volunteers per shift per day, so that's about 30 volunteers per day, just to get everything that we need to get done.
What's the job look like for people that might not know?
Oh, it's fun. It's actually, you get to do food sorting. You get to build the hampers. So right now we're building about 450 hampers every day. You also get some client-facing roles with food hamper pickup or at our community food hub, where they can support clients doing their shopping or check in, check out. Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be able to give back to people in the community like this?
Yeah, you know, Regina is such a tight community, and I think for us to be able to support your neighbor, right? You never know who's going to be experiencing food insecurity. It could happen to anybody, and I think we've been really good in Regina to, you know, rally behind others, and we see that with the Regina Food Bank, because we're community powered, and we couldn't do what we do without the community support.
Evelyn, thank you so much for a couple of minutes today. That campaign you can look out for in your mailbox. You can also read anything you need to know about the food bank and sign up for those shifts at reginafoodbank.ca.
What's happening in our community. TEDx Regina 2026 Once Upon Our Future is on May 29th, 2 p.m. at Dark Hall. Call 306-999-6062. The Collectibles Show is on May 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Northgate Mall. Email sportsworld@sasktel.net. On May 30th and 31st, find the Crocus and Artisan Sale at the Pilot Butte Arena starting at 10 a.m. Learn more at pilotbuttearts.ca. And Jazz Fest Regina Frog Back and Soul Deep. The fundraiser is happening June 11th at 7 p.m. at Revival Music Room. Information is on connexusartcenter.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca. Click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
It's May 25th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 9th birthday to Danielle. This is coming with love from your family. Happy 21st birthday to Alyssa. Cheers of 20 to 21 years of love and laughter from your family. And today is Miles' birthday. Happy birthday to you. Love your cousins, Reed and Drew. Happy belated birthday to Jess and Mandy. Your family and friends hope you had the best day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
All right, what's going on the radio today?
More money now for Name That Sound. We just were talking to Madison. She's doing some home renos, said that money would be going towards that. I thought Naming That Sound was easier than home renos. Maybe it's on the same level. She got it wrong. She was guessing it was crushing a can, so more money into the pot for this afternoon. Brandon at 4:40 will play for $1,950. This might be the easier contest for you. We want to send you off, though, to Quebec in July to see Jelly Roll. Tickets to the show, VIP tickets to that show, flights, hotels, $1,000 spending cash, and all you have to do for this one, download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to us for 10 consecutive minutes. You can enter each and every day. You'll be prompted to enter, and again, very, very easy. Just need 10 minutes of your time, and you're good to go for that one.
All right, thank you so much, Chase. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Thanks, Daryl. See you then.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
The Force is again strong at the box office. Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu landing at the #1 spot this weekend. The film exceeded expectations, earning $82 million and an estimated $102 million through the Monday holiday. It's Disney's first theatrical Star Wars release in almost 7 years. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert may be off the air, but the set will soon be on display in Chicago, where the comedian began his career. CBS announced the show is donating the entire set to the Museum of Broadcast Communications. The museum currently has Colbert's desk from the 2024 Democratic National Convention, as well as old desks from Jimmy Fallon and Johnny Carson. Fjord, a political drama set in Norway, took the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival. And happy birthday to Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy, who turns 50 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Near zero. What do you want?
Sidebar time, Jeremy. What do you got for us?
Oh, we have a wonderful scene where a dog experiences something for the first time. This is Henrietta experiencing her first rainfall, trying to catch each and every drop. Doesn't much like it landing on her face either. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, I just think this is the cutest thing in the world.
Where does all that rain go? That rain goes down the drain, which is apparently where this flock found themselves. Take a look at this.
Oh my gosh.
No foul play here, just ducklings that slipped into a sewer while they were out on a walk. So a man called firefighters came and put them back on their way.
I love how they all go running to
nothing
Mom.
ever happened.
Yep.
Duck said, thanks for the help. What do we owe you?
Yeah.
Firefighter said, just put it on my bill.
And off they went.
That's it. You're welcome.
Aw, I'm so glad they made it out.
Yeah. We got time for one more.
All right. Well, what better sound is there than a baby's laugh?
Wow.
Listen to that laugh. This is baby Kim, and he can't contain himself as his dad helps him kick the plastic bag.
22 million views for this.
That's right.
Doing something right.
Look at him having fun.
Oh, boy. Time out. We got more news headlines right across this break. Whoa. Welcome to Monday, May 25th.
Let's see what happens. We're going to give diplomacy every chance to succeed before we explore the alternatives.
Another potential deal to end the war in Iran.
We do need to get this issue resolved so that we can come to a conclusion and we can move on from it.
The Alberta Premier says a win by the Remain side in the fall referendum would settle the issue of separation. Montreal Canadiens hoping for good vibes and good times as the series shifts back to their city tonight. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Good morning. Happy Monday.
You're going to want your sunscreen this week. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
If you were complaining about it's not summer yet, it's not spring-like temperatures, you're getting them today.
That's right. Beautiful week ahead of us. We had a beautiful weekend. I had to stop myself from saying I'm too hot.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Yeah, I know the feeling. Time out. Let's get to your news. For this part of the hour, the U.S. and Iran could be one step closer to securing a deal to end the war.
We have what I think is a pretty solid thing on the table in terms of their ability to open up the straits, get the straits open, enter into a very real, significant, time-limited negotiation on the nuclear matters, and hopefully we can pull it off. It has a lot of support in the Gulf.
All right, so according to regional officials, the deal would gradually reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. would end its blockade of Iranian ports. Also includes a 60-day ceasefire extension. In exchange, Iran would have to give up its stockpile of highly enriched uranium, with further talks needed on the details. The U.S. Secretary of State reiterated that the U.S. president is not in a hurry to make a deal. The Canadian Navy and South Korean Navy held a joint ceremony in B.C. this weekend. That ceremony in Victoria remembered the 516 Canadians killed in the Korean War. The Republic of Korea Navy is also in Canada to hold its first ever exclusive joint naval drills. It brought along the KSS-3 submarine for the trip. That's the one that's in the bidding to be one of the 12 subs Canada purchases. South Korea is a finalist for the contract, along with the joint bid from Germany and Norway. Ottawa expected to announce the winner this summer. Saskatoon, the site of the 2026 Métis Nation Legislative Assembly this weekend. Jeremy Dodge, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. It was a two-day meeting that brought together delegates from across the province to discuss a number of topics. 18 new local presidents were sworn in, and a commitment was made for the group's annual General Assembly. Now, additionally, the MNLA saw the affirmation of Métis harvesting rights and the prioritization of child and family services.
It gives us an opportunity to be able to bring people together from right across our province, like I said, to be able to hear them in regards to what we need to hear as far as maybe falling short in regards to what we deliver. But then most importantly, too, is to be able to get to know their government. You know, sometimes governments are limited in regards to what they can do, but at the same time, gives us an idea in regards to where we can work a little harder.
The meeting was the first of two assemblies for the year. The next one is scheduled for the fall. And Saskatoon's Prairie Lily has kicked off its season with a new owner at the helm. After being docked last season because of low water levels, the Prairie Lily's new owner, Stephanie Simoneau, says she is excited for a summer of river cruises. Former owners Mike and Joan Stecken first set sail with the 119-seat riverboat in 2012 before announcing their retirement after last season. And they're helping guide Simoneau through her first year operating things. Simoneau says she is excited to welcome the community aboard. All right, Daryl, a long-standing football tradition returned over the weekend.
That's right. The best high school football players in Saskatchewan at Mosaic Stadium. Kickflip, young man. This is the Senior Bowl. Top 80 graduating players from high schools across the province, taking the North versus the South, of course. Various people attending the game, including coaches, scouts, parents. Great event for everybody. Team North went on to win this one 44-11. Montreal's hoping to take advantage of home ice tonight in Game 3. It's the third time the Canadians have split the opening 2 games in the series. The puck drops at 6 o'clock our time. The game is in Montreal. 26th edition of the Cathedral Village Arts Festival wrapped up on Saturday, and once again it's another year of many Saskatchewan residents taking their business to 13th Avenue. The organization says 390 vendors were situated throughout the week, 44 different sponsors, and they accumulated about $200,000. Half of the budget comes from the street fair, the other half from donations.
I think the reason that we have so many vendors is a reflection on the state of the economy. Like, we have people who come in here from PA in the north and from Kelowna and Brandon and stuff like that. And they're all people trying to make a little bit of money because it's hard, right? And then if you're into art and music and poetry and dance and stuff, we have a whole week of content and everything is free.
Don Young, who you just heard from there, says the organization had 30,000 people visit the festival when he took over as director in 2022. And this year, they say they figure about 50,000 visited. Here's a story you may have missed on Friday. Lots of historic places in Saskatchewan, but when it comes to buildings almost 125 years old, there's not many left standing. Mick Favel takes us on a tour of one of those buildings that has been given a new lease on life.
A piece of Saskatchewan history just off Main Street in Estevan. A building made of fieldstones constructed in 1902 is the oldest standing structure in the city. Recently given a new breath of life, now renovated as a bed and breakfast.
It was a big job, but you know what? That's buying an old building for you. You just never know what's going to be behind the walls. So I'm really proud of how it's looking right now.
The Old Stone Inn opened at the end of 2024, offering a place to stay and fine dining for those passing through. Wall grew up near Alameda and has since traveled the world, staying at many other bed and breakfasts. Opening her own B&B in the area she grew up in has been a long-time retirement plan.
I like that kind of homey experience, and I think people are getting back to that now. They don't want just a cookie-cutter hotel room anymore. They want something a little bit more personalized. It doesn't matter how long you stay, you're never going to get the same breakfast twice.
The building was constructed as a church, built by George Brooks, a local man who once made many other stone structures in the area. Originally used as a Presbyterian congregation, the property has changed hands many times over the years. When renovations began to transform the building into an inn, the basement was gutted to the stone, revealing evidence of a long-ago fire. Some of the scorched beams were used to build a fireplace on the main floor. The lower-level floor has 3 modern guest rooms, while the main floor has been transformed into a community gathering spot. On this night, the inn is hosting a chef's table dinner, a 7-course meal with a Kentucky Derby theme and drinks to match. The dinners are now a regular event, an opportunity to meet old friends and make new ones.
Their food is just absolutely amazing. The vibe is always great. It's different people at the table, but you can hear how loud it is. And again, I'm inspired by that table and the chatter. Brings such a friendly nature into our community.
Wall is an accomplished chef and does most of the cooking, bringing her mother in to help with serving and doing the dishes. Those who grew up in Estevan are happy the building is in use and filled with energy.
It's a beautiful building on the outside. If you've walked by, it catches your eye. It is, it's amazing just to kind of see it. And I think it brings that homey sense of character to our community.
Stay, eat, celebrate. The slogan signifying what the Old Stone Inn stands for. A renovated and refurbished part of Estevan history intended to last for decades to come.
I think that people should come and experience it, and just even outside, and just see what an amazing structure this is, how incredibly well built this building was. It stood the test of time.
Still bringing the community together as it was designed to do nearly 125 years ago. Mick Favel, CTV News, Estevan.
A little bit of a fixer-upper that really paid off. You need some money to pay off those bills, and we got one way.
Yeah, that's right. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is 1000. You can head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter 1000 with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. Now let's take a look at these temperatures we're seeing right now in Regina. 17 degrees. Beautiful way to start off our Monday. Sun is in the sky. Those winds are at about 22 kilometers per hour. Over to Saskatoon, starting to see some more sunshine creeping through as well. Still some cloud cover in the sky. 15 degrees is that current temperature, and those winds are at about 19 kilometers per hour. Now let's take a look at current temperatures. This is what we're seeing right now in the province. Buffalo Narrows at 11 degrees, Stony Rapids at 10, Spiritwood 12 along with Prince Albert, Nipawin and Hudson Bay 15 degrees, Kindersley 16, East End is at 17, Yorkton 14, Estevan 15 and Wynyard 16. For our futurecast, we still are not seeing much for really any precipitation coming our way. Again, tomorrow, a little bit earlier in the morning, about 9:45, northern Saskatchewan might be seeing some scattered showers moving through. Nothing of significance, and by the afternoon, those skies are clearing up. For highs today, the Battlefords is at 28, Swift Current, lots of beautiful sunshine and 29 degrees. Moose Jaw 31, Yorkton 25, Weyburn 32, and Estevan 31. For our 7-day forecast today in Regina, we'll be seeing 28 for our high, and again, lots of sunshine. Tonight, we'll be reaching about 15 degrees as that low. Tomorrow, 34, Wednesday, 32, so seeing beautiful temperatures all around. Thursday, 33, Friday back to 32. Now Saturday, some precipitation is on the way. Again, scattered showers. We aren't expecting significant precipitation, but it will get a little bit cloudier Saturday, not impacting that temperature though. Still seeing about 28 degrees as that high. Sunday sitting at 27. Over to Saskatoon, 29 degrees today is the high, 13 tonight for the low. Tomorrow we're reaching 31, seeing some more sunshine coming out. Thursday all the way up to 34, Friday 33, and again Saturday we will be seeing some of those showers, not really expecting to see them last too long, not a significant amount of rain. Reaching about 31 on Saturday for the high, and on Sunday we'll be seeing about 28.
This day in history, May 25th, 1995, Canada's Supreme Court ruled the Charter's right to equal protection and equal benefit of law without discrimination should include sexual orientation. May 25th, 2020, George Floyd died after a Minneapolis police officer kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes, 29 seconds. May 25th, 2018, Barbados elected its first female prime minister. And in 1977, the original Star Wars movie, which is now Episode 4, A New Hope, directed by George Lucas and starring Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford, premiered.
Historians are trying to answer some questions about one of the world's greatest ancient monuments. Of course, we're talking about Stonehenge. It's been around for more than 4,500 years, and there are still a lot of unanswered questions like who built it, how did they move the stones back then, and why was it built? What types of ceremonies were held there? So historians are now trying to find some answers by building a replica of an ancient hall near the monument site. So they're planning to use the same ancient methods and materials in the construction. I don't know how they know how they built it, right? But best of luck to them.
Record keeping about 4,500 years ago, it didn't stand up.
Yeah, right.
Right. Oh my goodness. Great place to enjoy on a nice hot day. That's cool. And we are going to experience a whole bunch of those in a row here. So we're asking you at home, how do you beat the heat on these hot spring, summer days?
Yeah, we got some really great answers coming in. A few more new ones. Kim, who says a cold drink will I float my pool?
Right, she's invited us.
Yes, naturally. That invitation still stands.
Yes. Nice.
Cam, who says I stay in my house with central air conditioning. Bucky, who says, hit the lake if it's good to go. Michelle, again, that portable air conditioner. Everyone loves it. Jeremy loves it, too.
Of course.
Of course. Gary, who says, I work 3 days a week out of 5 in a walk-in freezer. Oh. So Gary doesn't mind the heat. It's probably refreshing.
Melting Gary.
Yeah, melting Gary. And Lori, who says, I stay inside with my AC running.
Better go catch it.
Thank you, Tim.
The whole control room just groaned. The whole, yes. My week is set.
Yeah, an audible groan. Sheldon, who also says portable air conditioner. Everyone loves it. Yeah, lots of hot temperatures.
Answer 1 goes there, and answer 2 goes over there.
Hello.
Time out. Health news on the other side.
Being called the Olympics on steroids.
Strength will be measured. Speed will be tested.
42 world-class athletes, some of them former Olympians, competed in the Enhanced Games in Las Vegas. While the Olympics go to great lengths to ensure performance-enhancing drugs don't poison the competition, the Enhanced Games encourage them. According to a new survey of most of the athletes, 91% used testosterone, 79% used human growth hormone, and 29% used anabolic steroids. Critics quick to condemn the event. The president of World Athletics saying no one within athletics takes the Enhanced Games seriously. And medical professionals warn of the many serious long-term health risks posed by PEDs. But athletes claim the money offered by the Enhanced Games was too good to pass up. Winners of each event walked away with $250,000.
He was telling me, why would I go back to the Olympics? If I go back to the Olympics, I'd be taking a pay cut. He said, I am making more over this 4-month stretch thanks to Enhanced than I made after I medaled at the Olympic Games.
And breaking a world record results in $1 million payday.
We have our first world record.
A Greek swimmer broke the record in the 50-meter freestyle. But Thorbjorn's son, better known as the Mountain from Game of Thrones, failed to break a world record he set last year in the deadlift. The company behind the event, financially backed by Donald Trump Jr.'s venture capital firm and tech billionaire Peter Thiel, is using the games to boost its business selling supplements, including peptides, which experts warn have an unproven safety record.
The event organizers say any enhancements had to be FDA approved and prescribed by licensed physicians. Not all the athletes took performance-enhancing drugs. As always, consult your own doctor before using any new supplement. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Now let's head back out to Mike Siona, who's learning about music in the classroom this morning.
Well, one more time this morning at Bethlehem High School with Jean-Michael Bourgeois, talking all about the Saskatchewan Band Association, the value of musical education in the province and around the world. And it's all systems go in band rooms across North America, I would assume, as the school year wraps up. Talk to us about your concert.
You got it. So our concert is on June 3rd. It's coming up just next week. Can't believe it. It's at 7:30, or pardon me, it's at 6:30 here at Bethlehem Catholic High School. We've got all the bands are playing and our giant choir, which is going to be fantastic. And if you've never engaged in band music before, I would like to invite you. Come on out 6:30 here at Bethlehem Catholic High School. It's going to be a great night.
Fantastic. And obviously that's what it's all about, to expose people that have never been exposed to bands and show bands and musicality in this sense. And, you know, the experienced people that, you know, have lived this life like yourself.
That's exactly right. And it's not only is our band concert a great way to get people to come out and check it out, but I encourage you to check out the Saskatchewan Band Association new video on promoting youth band. So take a look. It's on their webpage. You can go to saskband.org and find that video right on the main page.
Love that. Now, we have spent the morning talking about the value that is brought to people's lives from music. Specifically this band room. tell us some of the stories that have come from that you can, because I understand there's band camp stories. That's a whole other kettle of fish. But talk to me about some of the stories that you've seen, just students flourishing from this environment.
Yeah, this community really is a safe place, and it's where a lot of kids find their home in school. One of my favorite stories to tell is I was talking to a band parent after a band concert, and they had come up to me and said, you know what, band saved my child's life. Like, this was their place in high school.
Yeah, it's true. Everybody's got their niche, and this certainly is one of them. We found a gong. We have a show, we have a gong, and we have me. Therefore, we have a gong show. Thanks very much, saskband.org.
Brownlee will join American Idol contestant Braden King and others in Bigger, Saskatchewan in June. It's a concert in celebration of completion of a major renovation project. The mayor of that fine community is Jim Rickwood, and he's with us this morning. Jim, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Big event, and it's all in celebration of a wonderful renovation. Tell us about this project.
Quite a few years ago, probably about 5.5 years ago, the Brownlee family came to Bigger. They're from here originally. They're living in Saskatoon now, and they wanted to do something for their hometown. So they challenged us to raise $2.5 million, which they would match. We did that, and we did a complete revitalization of our main street from Highway 14 right down to First Avenue. We've incorporated a gateway welcoming people with an arch and a screen that you can download our app and all that sort of good stuff. And in the last year, we've engaged in revitalizing our old rail grounds at the south end of Bigger. The station was knocked down quite a few years ago. It was kind of a beautiful area before and had been neglected, as you know, old rail yards usually are. And we put up a replica station, an outdoor stage, and a farmer's market area down there, and we renamed it Brownlee Square. We're having a dedication on the 13th of June for that area, and a free outdoor concert welcoming everybody to come and check out what we've done with our Main Street area and just celebrate all things Bigger.
I love that. You've got a venue, you've got the Brownlee families contributing some money, and you look down the list of artists and you're like, Chad Brownlee seems like the one. Tell us about the concert.
We've got Braden King and Brock Andrews. Brock will kick it off. Then Braden will hit the stage at about 8 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock or so, Jess Moskaluk will jump on stage and close out the evening, probably 10:30 or so. And it's very exciting. All we're hoping for is good weather, and if not, we're prairie people. We will endure.
I love the slogan too. New York is big, but this is bigger. How proud are you of your community just to be able to do this? That's a large amount of money, and you're not a very huge town.
We're about 2,200 people, and the community come together really well. The RAC, Brownlees, Hammond Realty, Bigger and District Credit Union, Bigger and District Insurance Services. So many people have contributed to make this happen so we can, offer this as a free concert. And, check out our website. It's biggercountry.com. And we had a group in Saskatoon do a marvelous job of designing our website for that, and it's just so exciting. It's overwhelming, actually.
Jim, I love that. I love success stories in small town Saskatchewan. I love that you're on the show this morning. Thank you so much for doing this, and let's keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely. Hope to see you on the 13th of June.
Good morning, just about 8:30. The rising cost of living was top of mind as premiers from across Western Canada met in Whistler. They also talked about public safety and infrastructure.
Having a Western premiers meeting and having one of the premiers bluntly that appears to be setting the table to leave the country.
Leaders are calling for more money from the federal government for infrastructure projects to, in part, better deal with the effects of climate change. The premiers are also calling on Ottawa to prioritize pushing through federal bail reform for repeat offenders. They also spoke about the growing pressure on Western Canada with the weight of population growth now shifting to the west. A gunman is dead after exchanging fire at a security checkpoint at the White House over the weekend.
President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
U.S. Secret Service says a person approached a checkpoint shortly after 6 p.m. Saturday. He removed a weapon from his bag and began firing at officers. Officers shot back. The suspect later died in hospital. Meanwhile, a bystander was also hit by the gunfire. That person is reportedly in critical condition. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says there won't be another vote on leaving Canada if Remain wins this fall.
Side does win. Do you promise, as long as you're premier, you will not hold a separation referendum?
Yes, I do. I will listen to the will of the people.
All right, so Premier Smith made the comment while speaking on Question Period on CTV. A yes result in the fall referendum could trigger a binding vote on separating from the country. Premier Smith says the vote is needed to settle the debate, but not everyone is convinced.
Danielle Smith's trying to make this happen one way or another.
Danielle Smith will not stand up and say, just stop it, because she's all part of this.
Alberta's referendum is set for October 19th. Muslims have begun their annual Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. The Hajj is one of 5 pillars of Islam, bringing more than 1.5 million pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. It's a mandatory religious duty for all adult Muslims that must be carried out at least once in their lifetime. It takes place every year during the final month of the Islamic lunar calendar. It started with pilgrims circling the cube-shaped Kaaba in the Grand Mosque in sweltering temperatures. It's been 35 years since the Saskatchewan Roughriders played in Saskatoon, and Saturday's game against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers didn't disappoint. A last-minute touchdown thrilled the onlookers. Here's Keenan Sorokon.
Daniel Wiebe no longer has to dream and wonder what it would be like to catch a game-winning touchdown for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The rookie receiver from Rosetown, fresh from graduating with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, sealed the Riders' victory with 42 seconds left to beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 31-27 Saturday at Griffith Stadium.
That means a ton. Like, just doing it at the Husky Stadium here, it's crazy. It means a lot. Tons of family out here supporting me too. Friends as well, so yeah, super excited. Doesn't really quite feel real yet.
Oh, and to make the story even more incredible, the guy who threw it to him was using one eye. Braden Shager, looking to make the team as one of the backup quarterbacks, was poked in the eye during a sack at the start of the fourth quarter and went back into the game without vision in his right eye.
No, I still couldn't see the last drive. I couldn't see out of the right eye great, but it's coming back a little bit now, but there were some times where I kind of have to close my eye and just throw with the left eye.
The ending was just one of many examples that had more than 7,600 fans cheering in Saskatoon, with the Riders turning the campus stadium into more of a mini mosaic for the day.
While the crowd might be smaller in size by numbers, it was still loud out there, and we definitely felt, obviously, like it was a home game. Just happy we can come out with a win for Rider Nation.
But the day undeniably belonged to Wiebe, who even had his coach awestruck about the storybook ending.
Just crazy, you know, it happens, and you're just like, of course it was supposed to happen like that. But you know, I'm truly, I'm so incredibly proud of that kid. Super happy that he was able to have that moment here.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
An Arizona dad has built a no-pressure kickball league at the youth sports culture faces scrutiny. Here's Norlina Graff with more.
Boom! On Saturday mornings, this field fills with something many parents say has been missing from youth sports.
Nice!
Fun!
We just want our kids to be able to go outside and have fun.
Scott Smith started backyard kickball after his 8-year-old son didn't make a Little League team.
We know that's going to probably come when he's older, maybe 12, 13 years old, or even high school age, not when he's in second grade.
So when his son asked to play a schoolyard favorite instead, Smith went looking for a kickball league. There wasn't one. so he built it himself.
There's no high club sport fees. There's no equipment really needed. There's no practices required. They just show up on Saturdays and play.
And as we know, if you build it, they will come. And boy, did they. The nonprofit's first season drawing about 50 kids. Many recruited the old-fashioned way.
The best marketing has been the kids actually going to school, passing out flyers, and recruiting kids for their own team.
For kids like Crosby, that low-pressure environment is the best part.
That it's not like people are yelling. It's not too competitive.
And for parents, that shift is striking.
Normally we're like, you gotta go out there. And now she's just taken off.
Maggie Haddon says her daughter had tried other sports before, but nothing really clicked. Now she's engaged, found confidence before striking out on sports altogether.
But she's been excited to get up and go on Saturday morning and give it her all.
The league comes at a time many parents are re-evaluating the intensity of youth sports culture. That's why here they still learn collaboration, teamwork, but no travel fees or pressure to perform. Just kids covering the bases of childhood.
Soccer is not as fun as kickball.
How come?
Because in kickball, you're just meant to have fun.
And for these kids,
Crosby, go home!
That may be the real home run.
No pressure, just fun, and this week, that's what we need when we got all this sunshine.
That's right. Get out there and enjoy it. We've got a beautiful week ahead of us. Let's take a look right now at our current temperature here in Regina. 17 degrees, 22-kilometer-per-hour winds, and we're seeing lots and lots of sunshine. That will carry throughout the entire week. Over in Saskatoon, 15 degrees, seeing those winds at about 19 kilometers per hour. A little bit more cloud cover in the sky that is expected to clear up as the day goes on. Now let's take a look at these current temperatures throughout the province. Buffalo Narrows at 11 degrees, Spiritwood sitting at 12 along with Prince Albert. South End 13, Nipawin and Hudson Bay both at 15. Kindersley at 16, East End sitting at 17. Weyburn 16 as well, Estevan 15 and Yorkton 14. Now for our futurecast, we can see those clouds moving through the province. For the next little while, we aren't expecting to see any precipitation. We've got a beautiful, clear week ahead of us. Once we roll into tomorrow, however, little bit of the potential for some showers up in northern Saskatchewan. However, again, not going to last long. Those conditions will be clearing up very soon. Now for our highs today, Swift Current at 29 degrees, the Battleford sitting at 28, Prince Albert 26, Yorkton 25, Estevan 31 along with Weyburn, Moose Jaw 31 as well. For our 5-day forecast here in Regina, seeing 28 for our high today, 15 tonight is that low and lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, still seeing that sun with 34 as our high. Wednesday, 32. Thursday, sitting at about 33. Friday 32. Again, seeing lots of sunshine. Saturday for a couple areas throughout the province. A little bit of rain on the way, but for the rest of the week, beautiful, beautiful clear skies. Now for Saskatoon, 29 degrees is that high for today. 13 tonight is the low. Tomorrow we're hitting 31 degrees. Again, seeing these temperatures rising. Wednesday 32. So if you've got week plans and you've got to go outside, make sure you're putting on that sunscreen and drinking lots of water. Thursday 34 and reaching that low of about 21. Thursday night. Friday, more sunshine with 33, seeing that low get down to about 20 degrees, so still beautiful temperatures on Friday.
It's this post on GoFundMe that caught our attention here at Your Morning. A man in Shaunavon is working to restore the Grand Hotel. He's continuing to breathe new life into this once proud structure. His name is Kent Caremaker, and he joins us live this morning. Kent, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about this 1929 Grand Hotel.
Well, it's been sitting dormant for at least 45 years. And during that time, it's had no heat. Had no water, and it's basically been just an abandoned building. It's been owned but used as storage. So when I purchased it, it was not long for this world, and so it's been quite the job to stabilize the building with things like a new roof and electrical. But the benefit of this being abandoned for so long is that it's basically entirely original inside. So
that's fabulous. The big ask here is, why take this on? Why do this?
Well, I guess it's a big esoteric thing for me. The pandemic was very hard on me, and I found myself struggling with mental health and asking the question, why am I getting up every day? What is the purpose to be here? So this was kind of always a dream of mine, was to do restoration. So when I hit 40, I kind of got serious about it, and I thought, well, if you're not going to do it now, you're probably never going to do it. So yeah, I packed my bags and headed from BC to Saskatchewan, and landed in Shaunavon, first Frontier, then Shaunavon, and yeah, it's just been kind of a ride since then.
So where are we at in this project?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't really set deadlines. I pretty much do everything myself, with a few exceptions. I had a roofing company do the roof because I had a grant through the Saskatchewan Heritage Foundation. But I just take each day as it comes. I would say I am probably more than 50% through stabilizing the building in terms of, re-drywalling and that sort of thing. Once it gets to sort of that basic sort of blank canvas, I guess you'd say, then I have to do all of the wallpapering and the painting and the decorating and finishing. So I'd say we're probably about maybe 30% done.
So what are some of the unique features of this? In one of the earlier photos, we saw the separated bathrooms and the separated bath there. What are some of the unique features that drew you to this building?
Well, it's got nice tall ceilings, 10-foot ceilings. All the original brass fixtures I have and have restored. Every original wall sink, porcelain wall sink, is still in the rooms. I have numerous original beds. All of the original laundry equipment is in the basement. I come from film. I used to be an actor. I worked on sets a lot. And so I kind of look at this as almost looking like a film set when it's done, in terms of being authentic down to the finest detail of 1929. So I think that's probably one of its most amazing features, actually, is the fact that it hasn't been renovated to death like so many other hotels of its age.
So Kent, what is the end goal here? Are you going to reopen this as a hotel, or is it a museum? What is the end goal?
A bit of everything, actually. Primary day-to-day will be as a functioning tourist hotel for people that want to experience how life would have been like in 1929, before the advent of things like television. There won't be TVs in this hotel, I'm sorry. Beyond that, there will be a museum on the main floor that will document not only the process of the restoration, but also the history of the building and a bit of the history of the town as well, of Shaunavon. There'll be other features. There's going to be a high tea service as well as continental breakfast. And because I worked in film, I'd love to market this as a film location.
Kent, we've got the GoFundMe up on the page. You can't do this without a little bit of support. So we wanted to support you in that way. We'll leave you on this. What is reaction like in the community?
It's been very positive. You never know when you move into a new town, certainly by yourself, and nobody knows you. You kind of have to build a reputation. And so it's a bit of an uphill struggle. But the community by and large has been super supportive and very interested in what I'm doing. There's a lot of community pride here. And so I think a lot of people are happy to see somebody take on a building that is a registered heritage building in their community and do some work to it and not hide the history, but really embrace the history.
All right, when you hit 50%, 75% and completion, of course, we want to check back in with you, Ken, so keep in touch with us. You at home can search Help Resurrect the Grand Hotel Shaunavon on the GoFundMe page if you'd like to help Kent out. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's the midnight sun kiss, get under the rest, sky laying on your chest like this. Hold me like the pebbles in your hand, initials in the sand, yeah, summer isn't over, yeah. I don't wanna turn down ever, I don't wanna be a heartbreaker, I just know it can be better. I could be the twist, the one to make you stop, the icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space.
We're learning the reason behind some of those common sayings. We use them every day. Why do we say that? Today we're learning, why do we say to butter someone up. Before we go around the horn here, let's go out to Mike Siona. Mike, what's your guess?
Well, ultimately, it's because to say grease someone up would be rude, but it's the same idea where you're just trying to, lubricate the gears a little bit to persuade someone to do what you want.
Okay, so that's pretty obvious. Where does it come from is the big question. Jeremy, do you have any idea?
Oh, I have no idea the origin. But yeah, I mean, we understand what it means, right?
Yeah.
Get them more, to persuade them to come to your side. I don't know why we would have started saying it that way.
It's got to be some sort of weird ritual, right, Janelle?
Yeah, I think so too. Making whatever you're about to tell them a little easier, I guess.
I hope Noel's not about to tell us we used to chuck butter at people. Noel?
Well, this phrase, simply meaning to flatter somebody, likely derives from an old slang expression that's no longer used. So there is a verb, an old verb that was a slang verb in English, to butter someone, which actually meant to cheat or deceive them. And you can see how that makes a leap to compliments that are flattering, that aren't honest, that are, meant to be kind of deceptive to get something that you want out of somebody. The first meaning or the first usage of it is actually in the prologue to a play, William Congreve's The Way of the World, which was first performed in 1700. And there's a reference to a squire who is buttered, meaning deceived, cheated. So butter and butter up seem to have been used interchangeably in the 19th century. Now we simply use butter up. And I was noting that maybe we should try to update this and see if we can margarine someone up as a healthier option.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's 0 for 3, 0 for 4 in this case for us here on the panel. Why do we say that?
Now you know.
Summer 1979 was so good, it was Bad Girls by Donna Summer. In 85, Phil Collins hit #1. And in the summer of 1999, Ricky Martin captured the end of the millennium musical vibe.
It's really about just bottling the most positive parts of that year and trying to put it into the sharpest pop song. And I think for me, the best one, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, is just summer in a nutshell.
After 2024's Espresso success, last year left music fans scratching their heads for an official song of the summer. Was it Alex Warren's Ordinary? Things were so much more simple in 2009 when the song of the summer was Undeniable. This year, the people want to know, with more than 200,000 searches for Is This the Song of the Summer on TikTok.
Y'all artists need to give us some summer bangers.
Right now, Ella Langley's sitting at #1 with Choosing Texas.
He's choosing Texas, I can tell.
But Olivia Rodrigo's brand new track is picking up steam. And Noah Kahan's latest single is also in the mix.
And I think going into this year with the way that music seems to be going in a rockier, darker direction, it's going to be tougher to find the song of the summer again. But at the same time, I think that we could end up getting something that's a lot stronger than last year. There are more contenders this year.
Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
An old lawn tractor sitting along the side of a road in BC has a bit of an unexpected story. Leave it to CTV's Adam Sawatsky to find out what it is.
While this old lawn tractor likely appreciates this father and son's efforts, nothing could compare to the feeling of getting a new name.
It's a Case 117 tractor, and so it's Casey. Simple as that.
Although his previous owner called him past his prime, Casey couldn't wait to show Adam that he could still mow like a tractor half his age.
It just was barely hanging on there. It started cutting the grass, and then it died about halfway into the boulevards.
So Adam did all he could to fix Casey.
I started taking it apart, and it didn't go back together again.
So Casey just sat, useless, watching the years go by. Until he heard kids like Ivor.
It's over on this side.
And like the hum of mowing lawns herald the start of spring, to Casey, laughing children sounded like new possibilities. How was that?
Good.
Of course, slides and swings are good, this 5-year-old will tell you. But when you happen upon a tractor, that's even better than great.
So cool.
Especially when there's a sign that says, "Hello, my name is Casey. Let's go for a ride." Ivor, like countless other kids in the neighborhood, always accepts the invitation.
I'll start the motor.
And Adam regularly makes new signs to inspire their imagination.
Don't go over 100 clicks, Casey's getting old, or please bring back Casey with a full tank of gas.
It's also to let other parents know it's okay for their kids to take Casey on an adventure.
It works, if you believe it works.
And if you believe a couple tweaks can transform this tractor into a rocket ship or race car or a surfboard that can catch the world's biggest waves before you wipe out with a twist, Casey will make it work.
You name it, it fits the bill.
And just because you have to stop doing something you love, Casey shows us, doesn't mean you can't start doing another thing that turns out to be even better.
Maybe it doesn't do what it was designed to do originally, but it's got a great new life now.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Great toy.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Man.
Great fun. Let's talk
Innocence
sidebar.
of children.
We're going to show you some corgis in sidebar. So our intrepid reporter, Hallie Mandrick, sent out her email on Sunday, said, "This is what I got for you." And I said, if you don't show me a full story about corgis, we are never speaking again. And she partially came through.
Are you set? Go!
She said, "I can't give you a full story, Daryl, but I can give you an extended cut of all of these corgis running wild at the 5th annual Corgi races at Crossmount Cider Company," which apparently needs to be on my list next year. So if you're watching from Crossmount, send me an official invite. 60 four-legged athletes. Yeah, we'll call them athletes. Why not? Showcase their speed in front of the crowd. The organizers said the event is getting larger each year thanks to the love of the breed. Look at them.
Wow, they're so fast.
My goodness.
I didn't realize there were that many corgis around.
They love to work and they love to play, and we think people love coming out because it is such a fun event to watch. Now, some corgis race, some corgis frolic, some corgis don't do what they're supposed to do, and that's the fun of it.
Okay, so in addition to the races, participating dogs also had a chance to show off their best costumes. You saw Sherlock Holmes a little while ago.
Yeah.
In that last piece of video.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
there
little
they
crab.
go. Wasn't this the Queen? Was this not the Queen's favorite dog breed?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
She loves her corgis.
And I can see why. They're so cute.
Very understandable. Oh, look at the good boys and girls.
Just silly little dogs.
Costumes.
Aww.
Jeremy can get behind that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, this is something you can get behind. An athletic pursuit of another kind.
Yeah, what are we looking at? Oh, yes, a dozen competitors raced up a 14-meter tower covered in thousands of steamed bao buns in Hong Kong.
Because
why
not?
Yeah, it's an annual festival. The goal is to grab as many as possible in 3 minutes. So you get points based on how high up and how many buns you're able to grab.
Oh,
it's believed that retrieving a bun from the top of the tower gives you good luck to the
That's
whole
why
family.
they went. I was like, why would you go all the way up? There's all those ones unabated down at the bottom.
They want the good luck.
More
You gotta
valuable.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Well, I'd be up there.
You'd be scampering your buns to the top
Yeah.
to get the best bun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Collect those in that bag and bring them on down.
That's right. Yeah.
That brings us to the end of our program for today. Enjoy the warm temperatures out there. Don't forget your sunscreen and stay hydrated, especially if you're working outside. Don't need me to tell you that, but I did anyway. Time out. We're back in about 21 hours. We'll see you then.